Hey everyone, Lead Assassin here, and I'm back from Pax East. Now, first off, I'd like to apologize for everybody who follows me on Twitter, and was hoping that I'd be updating you guys pretty regularly. Unfortunately, Pax East was a cellular nightmare. I was able to get on Twitter once the entire time there, otherwise it was just stuck in loading. You know, with 75,000 people there on their cell phones, the cell service was very strained. It took my friends sometimes 5 to 10 minutes to receive text, or at least 5 to 10 minutes longer than it should have taken them to receive text, which made meeting up, if we weren't calling each other, really hard. And when we did call each other, it was so loud, it was hard to hear each other. So, when it came to cell phones and Twitter and all that, it was just kind of a nightmare. Now, getting on to my PAX East experience. Unfortunately, like last year, I was not able to play any games. My first year going to PAX East was 2012, and when I went there, the cap of people was about 50,000 people. We got 3-day passes easily, and it was just kind of a different culture back then, it seemed like. With 50,000 people there, you were able to get in line. Maybe only 1 or 2 lines would be capped, but you were able to mostly go to any game you wanted to, and you might have had to wait an hour or two to play it, but you were able to get in line and play it. That year I got to play Far Cry 3 multiplayer, Spec Ops: The Line, and I believe a few others, as well as see Gearbox's panel on Borderlands 2. Every year since then, they upped the amount of people that are allowed to go to about 75,000 people. We haven't been able to get 3-day passes since, and every year since we've been playing less games. In 2013, I got to play Remember Me, I believe, and the past 2 years, I got to play 0 games, because lines have been constantly capped. And that's really how it was this year. You go to something you want to play, sorry, lines capped, come back in 40 minutes, go to every other game, come back 40 minutes later, nope, sorry, come back. And another 40, it already filled up. Craziness. It's just a lot of people in one condensed area, and it makes playing anything really tough. There were 3 games me and my friends really wanted to try. Final Fantasy Type 0, which 2 of my friends did get to try. I was off doing something else at the time, so I wasn't able to get in line. We also wanted to try to do Smite for Xbox One, but that was capped because they were giving away alpha codes if you played. And people knew it, and they wanted those alpha codes. And the last game was Overwatch, which, was pretty much the game of the convention. And you weren't getting close to it to play it. It was pretty much permacapped. You weren't playing this game unless you gave up your entire day to play that game. You weren't. And both Friday and Saturday I had things that I wanted to do, so I was not able to give up my entire day to really play any of these games. I had things that I wanted to try to accomplish. Fridays, unfortunately, I did not, and it kind of put a damper on my day. Saturdays, thankfully, I did. Now, on Friday, we did have the possibility of playing Battlefield Hardline and Halo 5 Guardians, but since we already, tried those games in the betas, we were really trying to focus on getting into the main 3 games we wanted to play. Come Saturday, we weren't even able to get into Battlefield Hardline or Halo 5 Guardians. Pretty much, if it wasn't an indie game, the line was capped. Now, from what I was able to see, walking around and kind of, looking at the booths and people playing the games. Final Fantasy Type 0 looks like a very interesting game, very different from what we're used to, but I think it looks like it'll be very fun and, to me, worth the money. Smite looks very, very interesting. I can't wait to see if we can get a beta for it to try it out, because it looks like a lot of fun. And Overwatch looks like an absolute blast. I know, Major, if you're watching this, you asked me to watch and try to give my opinion, but to be honest, with the people I was able to see playing, they weren't very good. So it was very hard to get a good opinion on how the game plays when you're watching people walk into walls while trying to wall run, not know how to shoot a gun. I mean, it was kind of sad at some points. But from the gist I can get of watching the game, it looks like it'll be a blast. I wasn't able to figure out how ultimate moves are managed. I'm not sure if it's time or you have to have some amount of points to use them. I'm still not sure. I didn't get to see anyone really pulling off. All I could really say from watching it was I got a little bit of a Team Fortress 2 vibe from the gameplay. But that might just be because I was watching one person play as the medic girl whose healing beam looks exactly like the medic from Team Fortress 2. So that might be what made me think of that. Overall, it looks like it'll be a lot of fun, and I can't wait, and I hope I get in the beta once they release that later this year. It's definitely a game to keep your eyes on if you haven't, and secretly in the back of my head I'm hoping maybe eventually a late console release like Diablo is in store for us. Doubtful, but I'm kind of pulling for it and hoping. The one thing I did get to actually experience, well, two things I got to experience at Pax East this year were the HCS, which was awesome. It was great to be able to be at a Halo event, see all the people there supporting Halo, and get to see all the pros do what they do live and in person. It was an awesome experience, and you guys will get to see some of that video, in the background here. And I got to see the Final Fantasy 15 panel, which was also an awesome experience. Got to see some of the design philosophy, why they're doing what they're doing. Got to be one of the first people to see a tutorial on how the battle system works for Final Fantasy 15. And my next video I'm going to make will be about that and kind of explain what I saw there and my opinions on it before we get the demo next week. Alright guys, I'm sorry I didn't get to have too much specific information for you about the convention. But like I said, it's just so crazy busy there. It's just absolutely nuts. I'd highly recommend going to one of these if you got the chance to, but just expect it to be very, very, very busy. I hope you guys enjoyed the videos and pictures in the background here. I hope they, got to give you an idea of what it's like to be there, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys, as always, so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.